Welcome to the Member for Day podcast. I'm your host, Eric Sedrans, and today we have a good friend of mine, member of the LPGA Foundation, board member extraordinaire, Jackie Nickelberry. Jackie, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me. It's
Jackie,
quite an introduction. I hope I can live up to that.
I've sat next to you at events before. I know you can. And you're coming in live from Torrey Pines. You literally just walked off the golf course. How'd you play? How'd it go?
I played pretty well. In fact, I told the three guys that I was playing with, two of them, that I was running off because I didn't get to finish the famous 18, that I would mention them, and it was great. I mean, one of the reasons why I love golf is that, you know, I played as a single today. I'll play with my husband the next few days. That I went out there, put myself on the wait list. I got, you know, put together with three guys. One is from China, two were locals. One guy keeps his clubs in the back of his cart and like plays golf literally every day with his buddies. Another guy sold his company and moved out to California because he's like, I want to play golf and buy real estate. And it was really interesting. I mean, it was great. Torrey Pines is beautiful. I played pretty well. I played better than them. I mean, that was sort of the point of it all. Always to beat the guys. Always.
Well, if you played the South Course playing well, you're an anomaly for sure, because most people get beat up on that golf course.
Well, yeah, it was a little soft today, maybe a little helpful. So what do you want to chat about?
All right, so I think this is the first time we've done one of these. This is a good old-fashioned recap of the LPGA auction that we did a couple weeks ago, because we raised over $200,000. And really as of this recording, it's the second largest auction in Member for a Day history. I think it might end up being the largest when it's all said and done. But before I sort of ask you some questions, I'll just sort of list off some of the ones that we sold with these numbers, which were just crazy. Baltusrol with the commish went for $10,000. East Lake with Jerome Bettis went for $10,000 in like 10 minutes. RTJ Stay and Play went for $10,000. We sold Sleepy Hollow for $8,000. The Country Club for almost $8,000. Wingfoot for $7,700. The Bridge for $7,200. I could see you smiling. Like, what is that? How does that make you feel, Jackie? Like, let's talk about this.
I mean, really good. I mean, on our side of the game, we spend a lot of time talking about how do we amplify the athletes that we support and the wonderful world-class programs that we put on. And kudos to you for starting this organization, because it puts the LPGA, which is a world-class, the oldest sports organization for women in the world, in the inboxes of people who are true fans and who, as Molly, the commish, would say, what we're trying to develop, super fans, alongside some of the greatest courses in America. And what could be better? And so we're really excited. Thank you for your work. We're really grateful that these iconic courses donated these rounds and members, and they leaned in, and they span the entire country. And so I think it's really, really exciting for us to connect with donors and courses in a really special way.
Yeah. So Jackie, part of the reason I wanted to have you on in particular tonight is I really wanted to know about the why. Like, why does the LPGA Foundation exist? And just kind of give me and the listeners a little bit of an idea of where is this $200,000+ going to?
Yeah, that's a great question. So the LPGA Foundation was started in 1991, and since then we've touched the lives of nearly 1 million girls. And our signature program of what we do is actually girls golf, which is where we actually teach golf to young girls in the way that they want to learn it. And in an environment where it's just them, they're not competing with the boys. We use it to talk about confidence and communication skills and play. And, you know, one of the reasons why I love golf is that, and I think it's great for them, is that they get to spend 4 or 5 hours, like, not on their cell phones, on their devices, actually communicating with people. Mm-hmm. And then all of the things that why you and I love golf, right? So teamwork, camaraderie, sportsmanship. We also we've helped increase the number of Black girls participating in girls golf by almost 50% through our partnership with the Renee Powell Fund. Renee Powell was our second African-American golfer who ever played on the LPGA Tour. She is awesome, runs her family's golf course out of Ohio, and it's been really great to work on that project with her. So this money, which by the way, Eric, we blew out our goal by 100%. Our original
Yes.
goal was $100,000. So it's great. And so all this money will go to support those programs. We also provide some assistance to our players and to our teaching professionals. And so it really is, the foundation is the philanthropic arm of the LPGA Tour, and is so important for our mission-based work regarding golf and women.
Jackie, I'm curious, just this is a personal question, but why did you choose to be a board member for the LPGA Foundation? You could probably be a board member for all kinds of different organizations. Why the
Yeah, it's a
LPGA
really great
Foundation?
question. I love this game. I started playing it. I mean, I won't tell you my age, but I started playing like 15 years ago,
Yeah.
basically when I was coming out the crib, I guess. Um, and it's really changed. I mean, it's what I told Sports Illustrated was that the game has changed my life. I
Mm,
have met tr- all of these different interesting people. I get to play this around the world with my friends. It is the combination of being outside and sports and fun and game that I've always loved. And for me, the reason why I joined this foundation is I want to give that back to other kids.
mm,
So two things. I know if we can put a golf club in a young woman's hand and get them super comfortable with it, they don't have to break 100. Like you asked me how I played Torrey Pines today. I don't really remember, right? I mean, I have a sense, but who cares? What we really want them to be able to do is when they're 25 years old, when somebody says to them, oh, let's go play golf, that they can say yes. Because if you can expand the possibilities of what young girls can say yes to, then you change the course of their life. So, I think it's really important. A lot of people say it's so interesting because somebody who plays at one of the clubs we're members of, I asked him if he wanted to bid on one of, our auction experiences. And he said to me, he's like, no, he's like, Jackie, he's like, so many other important things are going on right now in the world. Like, really, golf? Like, are we going to invest in golf?
mm.
Two things. He plays golf every single day. His girls play golf. His wife plays golf. He comes from a golfing family. And I think we have to begin to think about expanding how we're going to help communities.
Mm,
And being at play and having leisure activities and having hobbies are important to everybody.
yeah.
It's great for mental health. It's great for physical fitness. It's great for mental clarity. You do better in school. You do better in work when you have a hobby, a shared hobby with friends. And I want to give that to young women. In the same way that young men have been getting it for, now centuries. It's the game. So it's been a great experience, and I'm really proud to be part of this organization.
Yeah, it's beautifully said. Thank you for sharing that. Now, I know you got to run to dinner, but I got to ask you
Yeah.
a few fun questions.
Okay.
Let's start with the top. What's your favorite golf course you've ever played?
All right. So first of all, I hate that question because it's such a flex question. It is. It's if I have well, actually, I just had this conversation with friends at a round in New York, and we like all went. It's a flex question because I could answer and I could say Augusta National, but that means I've played Augusta National and I know a member, and it says a lot about who I am and class, and and that's I don't know, that's not how I roll and who I am. And then it's also a flex question because it's sort of you could choose like Pine Valley, and that merely means it's like you're a player and you get like I mean it's all. So my answer is a real answer.
Yeah.
My answer is my favorite golf course to play is Farm Neck on Martha's Vineyard in August.
Wow.
So, as a black female, when I tee it up on a golf course, I'm typically the only black female on that course. So, when I played Torrey Pines today on North and South, I can guarantee you I was the only black person on the golf course today,
Wow.
only black female on the golf
Yeah.
course. When I play Farm Neck in August, there are friends from every walk of life on this beautiful golf course that has these gorgeous holes that kind of wrap around the bay. We have friends who have homes on that course. President Obama or President Clinton could be a couple of holes over. It just is, it's a place where I have community. And there are, and there's so many great memories there.
Mm.
So it's not the fanciest golf course, and it's not the most exclusive golf course I've ever played at. But I take if I had one more round to do, it would be if like when it's like you have one round left, it'd be Farm Neck in August on Martha's Vineyard.
I love that. And so now it's very clear you don't like answering flex questions, which my next question is like maybe the ultimate flex question, but I'm just going to ask it anyways.
Ask me.
Who is the most famous person you've ever golfed with?
Oh, okay. Let me see. Well, I've golfed with some. Okay, I think probably maybe the most famous person I've golfed with is maybe Ray Allen. We teed it up in the spring.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Ray's so much fun to play golf with. And he plays a lot with President Obama,
Huh.
and so when President Obama was on the first tee at Solheim Cup, and we were inside the ropes, we were chatting. When I met President Obama, it was actually my first time meeting him. We chatted about golf, and I was like, "It's amazing for you to be here." It really showcased and highlights, women's sports. It was at Robert Trent Jones, where he's a member. He says he loves that golf course, and so I said to him, I was like, I played with Ray last spring, and I was like, President Obama, I beat the socks off of Ray in the spring, and President, he's like, you beat Ray. And I was like, yeah. I was like, he gave me. Now, granted, to tell you the full story, we are, Ray comes over. Ray has a friend coming. We're chipping, warming up, and Ray's like, what index do you play to? And I was like, I play to a 9. And I was like, do you play to? He's like, yeah, I play to scratch. And so he's like, well, what does your husband play to? And I was like, that's like none of my business. I have no idea. So we get to the first tee, and like they bet and they play games, and so I was like, well, I want in on the bet, and he's like, okay, and I was like, okay, I was like, well, are you gonna give me a stroke a hole? And he's like, fine, I'll give you a stroke a hole. I told him I was a 9. Like I told him I was a 9. You underestimated the fact that I was a 9, and so he claims the story that he claims and he's told publicly is that I hustled him on the golf course, which is why I won. And I was like, dude, you were passing out chips on the golf course, like a Hall of Famer, Olympic chips and whatnot with like your face on it. Like that is not so we have like this thing, we go back on like social media. I guess Ray's the most famous. I can think of some others, but Ray's the most famous and the most fun.
Yeah.
And Ray's a great golfer. He also really believes in women's sports. And he loves golf, and it's really great to sort of see his competitive spirit and how he transfers that to golf as an athlete.
Yeah.
So I think that's been, yeah, there's some others, but I think that's probably a really fun one.
Yeah, it's a great answer. All right, last question. I'll let you go. If you could have any swing of one LPGA Tour player, who would it be and why?
Oh, Rose. Oh, yeah. I was at Liberty. So I walked the final 18 at Liberty on her LPGA start, and when she won.
Yeah.
She won, it was the first time anybody's done that, I think, in 40 years or something like that, some crazy stat. So I walked that round with her. And not only do I want her swing, but like I want her swagger on the course. Like she's just got, like, I was texting sort of fellow board members and sort of at 18 when she won it on the playoff, and I came down and I was like, I came down and like I'm standing there and I was standing next to the commission. I was like, oh my goodness. I said, she is going to be such a star on not only does she have this like perfect swing, she doesn't get rattled.
Yep.
She's got like this swag walking down the course. She's got like the sunglasses like on top of her hat that she's just, she's got the really cool Adidas sort of stuff that's been made for her, which I think is just really cool golf wear right now. But I'd take Rose's swing all day. Yeah. And first year out, she made the top 10 of all the majors except one, I think, on her rookie year. So I don't know, don't get me wrong, but she did really well and made both Solheim Cup teams, her first 2 years out. So I take Rose's swing. Nelly would be I take Nelly's too, but look,
I figured
if you have to choose one, then we'll go with Rose.
Yeah, I love that. No, it's a great answer. Jackie, I just wanted to just thank you and everyone, hosts, winners, bidders, all supporters of the LPGA Foundation. This has just been awesome. Like you said, we doubled the goal and raised so much money for girls golf, and it's always fun to just get on and chat with you. So thanks for the
Yeah.
time. And
I want to thank you too. I mean, thanks for putting the LPGA and the foundation in the inboxes of the 50,000 people that you send this out in your database. And what I remember sitting next to you at an event 2 years ago where you told me how you started this in COVID and how it's grown. And so just really, really proud of you. Really thankful that you're including us in this. Really grateful that you are so supportive of women's sports. And I see us, I want to double that 200,000 next year when we do this. You and I have big plans for
oh,
this next year.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just getting started.
We're just getting started for sure.
I love it. Jackie, thank you. Appreciate you. Talk to you soon.
All right. Talk to you soon. And when are we teeing it up? We're teeing it up
Very
soon?
good question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stroke a hole. That's what I require. Stroke a
Oh,
hole.
man. As long as there's no money, I'm in on that because I ain't a scratch. I'm like a 5, so you will wipe me at that.
All right. Talk soon.
See ya.
Bye.